Hello everyone, welcome to Ruby Home Channel. Today, I want to share with everyone two small but extremely useful tips for those who wear glasses every day. During use, glasses are very susceptible to seemingly small but annoying problems. The lenses are scratched, making vision blurry and uncomfortable, or the frames are broken, loose, making the glasses unwearable. Many people see this and rush to replace new glasses, but in fact, we can completely handle it at home in very simple ways. In this video, I will guide you in detail on how to remove light scratches on glasses, making them clearer and easier to see. All the operations are easy to do, the tools are familiar, and anyone can try. First, I'll deal with the lenses first. I take out a small bottle of alcohol. This is very useful for cleaning the surface of the glasses and removing dirt stuck to scratches. I soak a little alcohol in a tissue and gently wipe it all over the glass, especially the scratched area. Wipe it thoroughly so that the tiny dirt doesn't stick to the glass, making the next step more effective. I wonder if any of you watching have ever had your glasses scratched and your vision blurry all day. If so, you'll understand how uncomfortable it is. Hopefully today's little tip will help you somewhat. After the glasses are clean and dry, I move on to the broken frame. I prepare a small screwdriver, the right size for the screw on the glasses. I gently turn and remove the screw, then separate the broken frame from the main frame. Removing the broken parts separately will make it easier to repair or replace while avoiding damaging the intact lens. Where are you from? Comment below to let us know. It's great that we can make friends from all over the world. Next, I'll prepare a small mixture to treat the scratched glasses. I'll take a clean bowl, then use a spoon to scoop out a little Vaseline and put it in the bowl. Then I'll squeeze in a piece of toothpaste about 3 to 5 centimeters long. These two ingredients, when combined, will help to fade the light scratches on the glass surface. To increase the effectiveness, I'll squeeze in a little lemon juice and mix the mixture until smooth and blended. Once the mixture is smooth, I'll use a spoon to spread a thin layer on the scratched area of the glasses. Then, I'll place a paper towel on top, then squeeze a few drops of lemon juice onto the towel to increase the cleaning power. I'll let the glasses soak for 10 to 15 minutes so that the mixture can penetrate and soften the scratches. In the meantime, I'll move on to fixing the broken frame. Now, I will move on to dealing with the broken frame. First, I placed the two halves of the frame on a small wooden shelf to create a solid support. Placing it on a hard surface like this helps me align it more easily and prevents the frame from shifting during the repair. Then, I used 2 pieces of tape to temporarily fix the two halves of the frame together to help them stay in place and not shift. To keep the two halves balanced and level, I placed a safety pin and a small piece of paper under the broken part to support it, so that the two sides do not have different heights. Next, I took another safety pin and used pliers to cut off the two curved ends, keeping only the straight section in the middle. This will be the connecting bar to help increase the stability of the frame. After cutting, I used tweezers to pick them up one by one and put them on the broken frame. The first metal bar is tight. I continue to pick up the second metal bar and put it in. I use an electric welding gun to fix the two metal pieces to the frame. When the gun is working, the tip of the gun will create a layer of hot plastic, helping to bond the metal and the frame together. This plastic layer acts as a very strong adhesive, helping the broken part to be reconnected much more firmly than just using glue. In addition to the plastic layer from the electric welding gun, I can also add a layer of specialized welding plastic to cover the surface, making the connection harder and ensuring that the frame does not break again when used. This operation requires a little patience, but if done correctly, the frame will be very firmly reconnected and still retain its original shape. Once the frame has been firmly welded and the plastic has completely cooled, I begin the finishing step to make the glasses look neater and more beautiful. First, I remove the safety pin and the paper pads underneath to reveal the entire frame that has just been welded. At this point, the frame will have some slightly raised plastic lines due to the welding process. To handle this part, I use a paper cutter. I hold the knife firmly and gently scrape off each layer of excess plastic from the outside in. The knife is very sharp, so it only takes a few light strokes for the excess plastic to come off. I observe while scraping to make sure I don't scrape off the plastic holding the frame to avoid weakening the joint. Slowly like that, the plastic edge begins to flatten and the surface becomes more even. When I feel the plastic has been shaved off neatly, I move on to the next step, smoothing it with sandpaper. I use a piece of fine sandpaper and place it lightly on the frame that has just been welded. I don't grind hard, just use moderate force, enough to create smoothness. Sandpaper helps smooth the surface, remove the rough feeling, and help the frame blend into the overall look, looking much more seamless. The more you grind, the smoother the surface becomes. When you touch it, you will feel the frame is flat and neat, almost like the original. When I finished polishing the frame, the lenses had soaked for enough time. I temporarily put the frames aside and returned to work on the lenses. First, I removed the tissue paper that had been placed on the lenses to reveal the mixture that had soaked into the scratched surface. Then, I placed the lenses in a clean bowl and filled it with water. I washed the glasses with water, rubbing gently to remove all the remaining mixture on the surface of the glasses. During the washing process, I squeezed a little more toothpaste onto the surface and continued rubbing evenly. The toothpaste acts as a mild cleanser, helping to increase brightness and blur small scratches. After feeling that the glasses were completely clean, I took the glasses out of the bowl and placed them on a tissue paper to dry. I gently wiped each glass surface and the frame to dry the glasses completely, avoiding water stagnation that causes fogging when used. As for the frame that was welded earlier, I did the final finishing step to make it look more aesthetic. I took a little black ink, or a color that matches the frame, and put it on a cotton swab, then lightly dabbed it on the welded part. The ink layer helps the frame to be more even in color, blending in with the overall look and not revealing the repair. Just a few light coats, and the frame looks almost like new. Now we come to the final step, reassembling all the parts of the glasses. After the lenses have been cleaned, the frames have been welded, sanded smooth and recolored, I start to reassemble the glasses as before. I put the lenses into the correct slots, gently aligning them so that they fit snugly with the frame. Then, I reattach the repaired frame to the hinge of the glasses and tighten the screws with a small screwdriver. Once the parts are completely aligned, I try to fold and unfold the frames to check for sturdiness. Then I hold the glasses up to the light to see if the glass is clearer. The result is quite surprising. The scratches are visibly faded. The frames are also sturdy and evenly colored, as if they had never been broken. So the glasses that seemed unsalvageable were completely repaired with just a few simple steps and familiar household items. From removing scratches on the lenses to welding broken frames, all can be done at home without having to take them to the store. Hopefully, today's tip will help you save a little money and have more ways to handle small problems with your familiar glasses. If you have ever encountered a similar situation, try applying this method. You might be surprised by the results. If you find the video useful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so I have more motivation to share more great tips.